Hello, I'm SupaWaluigi and welcome back to SupaConstruction here in the Nintendo World Park. We are straight into building again. Gone back to Clocktown, but it'll be just for a brief amount of time because the game kept on complaining at me that no mechanics could look into the horse enclosure for some reason. I guess just like all the other rides in shop stalls and everything, they also need to inspect the horse enclosures for some reason. But that's now fixed. That's got a overlook on the main path, and now we are just going to be building up the entrance into the side of Clocktown with the train transport ride, or just a train. I don't even know what I'm trying to call it there. So we're going with this sort of three towers entranceway thing. After it's finished, it looks pretty good actually. It does make it look quite what's the word? Kind of just like a grand entrance that you would get to a station. Although the actual station on the Clocktown side, we'll see a bit later. I wanted to kind of go for more of a little quaint rustic look to match sort of the horse enclosure in the stables, but we'll get to that in a moment. Just building up the other side here with more of those towers, just symmetrical like. And now just trying to figure out what look I wanted to go for the station itself. I was thinking about continuing with the same scenery that we have throughout the whole of Clocktown to the whole Arabian concrete built townhouses, but instead thought it would look better like a wooden stable to match the horse enclosure on the other side there. So we're getting these it's part of the Wild West pack of scenery, and yeah, just getting in these fence posts and everything just to make it look quite open, and then the roof pieces were quite hard to get the right look of. We do go back to those very short sloped roofs in a moment. Was just going to test out how it looked with these large ones, but then it got this very big wall at the top, and I didn't think it looked too good, especially considering that the very top you have to use those flat pieces because there aren't any proper flat roofs, and it does look a bit weird, I would admit. The sort of the wood Wild West styling, contrasting with the I think it's actually called a Sultan's Palace theming for the whole of Clocktown. But just decided to go with that sort of very small little station. Wasn't entirely sure about the look, but I think we'll leave it like that for now. I might go back to it in a later video and address that. Just going to get in some trees around it just to make it look a bit more lush and match some of the area surrounding it. You may notice since the very last time we were in Clocktown that it just looks a bit more brighter. That's because I've gone around the whole town and put like a crazy paving terrain painting tool underneath it, so that it looks just more more like a Clocktown, like a plaza. Because I thought the green of the ground coming through underneath didn't look too good. Yeah, we're just filling in this foresty area around the train station and up to the entrance into Clocktown. We got this contrast of the trees that we use inside, where the Loftwing Sanctuary is as well, with the large Douglas firs and the large sugar pines. It creates this good sense of a very deep, lush forest, and then it contrasts with the red apple trees, I think they are, towards down by the generic entrance area. So yeah, that's how it looks. Was thinking about getting a little flower area to mark the entrance a bit more, but it didn't really work, especially because it wouldn't have been symmetrical. So going just back over to the main train station, getting in a little flower bed area at the front. Beginning to realise how limited for flowers Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 is. Was going to go with like a whole row of roses there, but then I thought, well, that looks a bit too symmetrical for flowers. Then decided to go with more tulips, a kind of azure, bluish kind of colour. But then again, I thought it was too symmetrical, so I went with one row of those and then a row of purple ones as well. Decided that was that looked quite good, even though we probably won't see it very much. But anyway, heading back into the main entrance area as it went dark, decided to finally get in some park lamps. And yeah, they look pretty good. They're just kind of a generic yet old type style lamp. And it does make this area nice and bright, but a little bit more muted than in Clocktown, because now that I think about it, Clocktown is actually a little bit too bright. But that's because all the lights come off of the rides as well, so it's a bit, I don't know. I might fix that later, but I'm not sure about that. Decided to guardrail off the base of Monita statue there. Don't know why, I just thought it would just kind of pop a little bit, just to make the actual statue itself stand out a little bit more. And now we are getting into a little food court area. Wanted to mimic each side of the entrance area with some more buildings, but this time decided to get in some food stalls and also put them actually inside the building, just so that it was a bit more inviting, I suppose. But of course, as we've seen before, putting shop stalls inside buildings can be quite difficult, especially since the actual walls can't really go right up to them, because they need one square space on the back side of them. Backside. It's not like in Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 where you could place the walls right up next to them, but I suppose it's because of the whole 3D space thing. It requires a bit more space for the buildings. I'm not sure why though. I'm sure there's probably a hack, or there might be a cheat code for like placing objects inside each other and closer to each other than you actually can in the actual game. So yeah, we're just building up the walls around it. It's kind of looks like another warehouse type building, but I think it's better than the previous one on the other side of the Monita statue, with all the sort of souvenir stalls and everything, because we actually utilised the space more by putting the path inside it. And it kind of replicates the whole real life park thing, because you would have some have big food courts, like, what's the last one I remember? It's maybe mainly for British audiences. If you've ever been to Thorpe Park, I don't know why I'm thinking of this as an example, but there's a giant building near the, what is it? Is it a log flume? It's been a while since I've been, but there's a giant kind of it's like a seafront town, and there's a giant KFC inside one of the buildings. Not sponsored by this video. Not sponsored by KFC. Just putting that on there. But yeah, it creates like a nice different feel in a theme park where you go inside a themed building, and you have food and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty good. And I think the roof with this one is better than the other one as well, because it just seems a bit more conformative. Especially with the little side bit on the building, makes it look a bit more interesting, even though it just houses a toilet, which is okay, I suppose. It's just a toilet. It kind of mirrors the other side of the park entrance again, because there's a little toilet over there as well. Once again, all these shops can be named. Again, they're kind of in a generic area, so generic Nintendo names would be good, but yeah, just come up with whatever name you can. Going into the free look mode here, it's going to look a bit janky on the video because obviously the footage is sped up. Oh, that is quite bad. Getting some more of the crazy paving terrain there. A nice little flower bed inside that little alcove, and then lighting up the inside with some more lamps. Already the pathway is completely full of litter, but we address that in a moment when we get some handymen and a mechanic. Just putting in all these park benches and bins, making sure peeps are catered for. There's our handyman, just setting out his area inside the little building there, and just around the perimeter as well. And getting in our mechanic, because I did actually get a notification saying that there was no mechanic in this area. So it's good that we have him in there now and covering across the whole of the entrance. And I was actually thinking of ending the video there, but then I thought, no, it'll probably be a bit too short. So I was thinking, how could I integrate the entrance into the Mushroom Kingdom area? Kind of like on the other side, we have the train station that provides a transport link to the Legend of Zelda area. So I was thinking, well, what could mark the entrance to Mushroom Kingdom? It's more of a secret entrance, actually. Since the main entrance will be opposite the main entrance to Clock Town, which is just a bit further ahead from the Monita statue. So I decided to go with this little, kind of another tiny little plaza area with a little fountain there, a dolphin fountain. And since it's the entrance to, or a secret entrance to the Mushroom Kingdom area, you could think that dolphin is one of the dolphins in the Mario universe, you know, the ones that wear, they're like snorkel masks. That would just be a neat little scenery thing. And right here, if you haven't really guessed already, I'm basically trying to build a giant pipe. And it'll be like a warp pipe zone. So when you walk through, you then just come out into the Mushroom Kingdom. But it was quite difficult to really capture the right shape for it. I mean, thinking about it now, I think this was probably the better idea to go with first, and just keep that kind of lip above the black bits, even though you can see the black bits through the underneath the green at the top there. But I do decide to get rid of this one for some reason. I probably should have just developed on that one a bit more, because I don't think the one after turns out just as well, but you'll see in a moment how that's going to go down. It doesn't help that in the coloured walls and bricks, the main one I'm using for the warp pipe here, is that there's no kind of like an arched curve, but a vertical arched curve. You've got those things that I'm just putting down there, but they're not great. And the more I think about it, I think Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 had a greater amount of scenery to choose from that also had sort of a greater amount of shaping to it as well. With these, it's very kind of flat, and it's hard to get some good curved shapes on them. Try my best though with what happens here. That shape is going to change once again, and it's going to look a little bit more like kind of replicating the Monita statue again, with those curved roof edges and getting in the curved bases as well. And the another annoying thing is that those arch pieces at the top there, there isn't a kind of like a blank slate kind of one. There's only brick ones, which is kind of annoying, because then it doesn't look like it's got a conformative texture to it. But we work around that, and we're just getting in another kind of warp pipe here, although it's a bit elongated, which is why I don't like the look of it as much. But obviously we'll see how it looks at the end of this. It's very long for a circular pipe, Probably should have extended it one out backwards so that would have been more symmetrical. And then we're just fiddling around with the entrance bits here just to try and make it a little bit more curvy and cover up some of the gaps that you can still see into the actual structure itself. The more I look at it, for some reason I keep thinking it's like it looks like a giant green oxyrock. I don't know why. I think it's because of the black band from the base bits there. They create sort of an eye line. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel right. Or it looks like a giant chimney as well, like you'd find on a cruise ship for some reason. My imagination is all over the place today. But yeah, we're just finishing off the back here, like so. Yeah, there we go. That's the warp pipe. So yeah, it's basically a secret entrance. This is not going to be the main entrance. The main entrance will probably be a bit more open, to do with sort of like a Mario fields and everything. But just filling up some of those gaps there, and that's that. That is the warp pipe for the Mushroom Kingdom area. Just finishing off with some of those fences again. Slowing down the video just to have an overview of what's been going on. So we got the forests, we got the entranceway into Clocktown there with the little train station, and yeah, and the warp pipe. That is that. So thank you for watching. Bye.